This is going to be the only Forex strategy that you'll ever need as a swing trader. And it's not because I'm saying it, it's because history actually says it. After watching this video, you will be able to start trading whether you're a beginner or an expert, it doesn't matter. And you'll be able to start seeing some really good results on your trades as long as you follow the instructions. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start. Hey everyone, Christian here on YouTube. Welcome to a brand new video for the channel. Today we're gonna test or try or learn a simple swing strategy that will change your trading results for once and for all. So grab a notebook, grab a snack, and let's begin. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with this, what is swing trading? Swing trading is actually a way of trading where you actually place positions and basically just leave them running for more than 1 or 2 days. Usually you see strategies where people are actually sharing trades that expire on the same day. And although that's actually nice, it's actually a way more emotional way of trading. Because usually you're looking at your phone, you're looking at your computer, and you're like, how's my trade going, right? Like, what should I do? Should I actually place a new one? But when it comes to swing trading, you actually trade fundamentals and institutional trading, and is usually way less emotional. So that's the reason why it's for beginners. And second of all, when it comes to swing trading, it's way easier to predict the movements of the markets because there's no much volatility. Hopefully that makes sense. But before I actually start with the strategy, obviously you need to have a good broker that will sustain this strategy while you use it. So my best brokers recommendations, which by the way, I'm gonna have the links to the three of them in the description of this video, is number one, this one right here, IC Markets, which is the broker that I've been using forever. I don't know what else to tell you. It's a very popular broker, so I mean, a lot of people uses it. And second of all is this one, XM, which has zero spread and a very low deposit with 30 bucks. And the third one is this one right here, which is Black Bull Markets. All of them will be in the description of this video. All of them have free zero spread accounts. So definitely the three of them are very good. Just choose whichever you prefer, open an account, and I'll see you trading. All right, so how does this strategy actually work? First of all, we're actually going to go into the history of my specific positions. There are some trades. I usually do this and remove the drawings, so unfortunately we won't have the past, but we're going to analyze them. But basically what this strategy is an actual trending strategy that what it does is that it identifies a certain trend like this, and you can trade it for as long as the trade is actually active. It doesn't have an actual take profit level. It does have a stop loss, but not a take profit level. And once you actually are inside of a certain position, you can actually pretty much make either tons of money or lose very little money. I hope that actually makes sense. So for instance, if we actually go all the way to this trade could have been right here, somewhere around 18.9 risk reward ratio. Obviously, I'm looking at just random numbers right now, and it's not the way the strategy works. But in order to understand it, we're gonna need to go with past markets. So what we're gonna do is that I'm not gonna look at it because some people are like, choosing just the best entry points, and then they're like, oh, take a look at this perfect trade. No, we're gonna actually blindly look at ever since September 29 of 2022, and we're gonna see how that actually goes. First thing that we need to understand is what's the trending, okay? The trending does everything. If it's a downtrend, you're gonna go with a sell or a short position. The uptrend is gonna go with long or buy positions, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. Now, you need to identify support and resistance levels in order to learn where the entry is and then the continuation of the trade. So one thing I actually do is always take a look at the stochastic and the RSI levels, because those are the ones that actually determine what's the best entry point. So let's say, for instance, that I actually look at this little trading zone that happened in this area, which was quite perfect, because take a look at the entry right here in this one. Take a look at the exact entry right here. But this is a change on trending, right? So what happens there? Where can I enter again? This is a new trading zone that was actually formed based on a broken resistance level that was formed in this area. I would even believe that this is the support zone somewhere here. Yeah, somewhere around there. So you can actually have a pending order, right? Again, like I said, the take profit doesn't matter. Always the stop loss, I put it somewhere outside of the trading zone so that I have enough space. Now, here's what the trade is going to be about. It's about catching a good entry and then letting the trade run with the trend. Okay, so what we do right here, it didn't activate, you see? It didn't activate right here. All right, now we hit the stop loss, but the trend does continue, right? So we lost one, that's fine. So we enter a new one at the drop or whatever. We enter a new one. Give it a decent stop loss so that, you know, it doesn't, you know, stop out to you. Okay, we lost another one. So then what I would do right here, I wouldn't continue entering. All right, I wouldn't continue entering. That's 2% loss that I actually have. Now I would just let him like continue with the trend, trying to understand what is going to do and to see if it's actually going to become an uptrend or a downtrend. Right now it's pretty much consolidating, right? Now it's becoming an uptrend again. So what I do is that I actually identify again a new support and resistance. There are some tools that can actually give you some sort of support and resistance, but I would say that you should do it too. How is it that I identify support and resistance levels? Think about it this way. What would an institution do? Okay, try to figure out where an institution can actually buy so that you actually enter pretty much at the same level and have the push that they are going to give you with the pricing. So for instance, right here, I believe there is some sort of support level in these candlesticks right here. I don't trade much with order blocks, but sometimes they actually do work. We're going to see if they work in this section right here. And another thing that I currently do is to actually choose a trend line like this. It could be broken because this is like two straight above. So we're going to see if the trend line is respected. It wasn't, but it actually activated the trade. By the way, I moved the stop loss very wrong right there. So we continue looking at the trend. All right, we lost another one. What is it that we do? We continue with the trend. Now this looks way different now. It's not letting me. All right, so this looks like a good entry point, right? Somewhere there, because that's where the trend is actually going. We continue looking at the pricing and you see the price never actually reached this level. One thing that we could have made as a mistake is we could have seen this little area right here. Obviously, I'm just looking at it like randomly, right? But there's like a support level that was actually in here for a while consolidating. And this is exactly where the trade was actually activated. So that could have been our mistake on this entry. And we could have had it here. Probably not there because, you know, we're not perfect or anything. I would have had this like my entry area somewhere there. Somewhere there. All right. So this is like, again, to give you an example as to how I continue with the trend. All right. So once we have an activated trade, what is it that we do? We take a look at the trend. Okay. This is the trend and this is what's happening. Now, new trends are going to be formed. That's 100% sure, right? New trends are going to be formed eventually. And what we need to look at is at whatever the trend gets actually broken. Okay. Now we got broken right there. And obviously you should have, you know, used your trailing stop and so on, right? Now, how do we identify the entries? And this is super important to understand before we jump into anything. How do we identify the entries? The entries should be according to the trend support and resistance level, which in this case could be this selected area. And let me look for another example. All right, take a look at how this trade is actually going with the exact same entry that we had right here. The price went down all the way to this area, but it broke the trend line, but it got almost right here again into the same entry point. So probably, yeah, this trend was actually broken, but it opened a new trend. So what we do is that we identify what is this trend by having more than one touching point. Honestly, that would be super, super important, like using more than one touching point. So there's this one and this is another one. So that is a new trend line. So you don't close the trade, right? You don't close the trade. What you do is that you actually watch and monitor whenever that trend line is actually broken. You see now? It kind of broke. I believe it actually got reassigned instead of getting broke. So what you do is during the same trade, you see, okay, this is a new trend line. All right. Again, trailing stop on this method is incredibly important. So, okay, it got broke. It's slightly broken again, but it keeps on jumping in profits. So you wait, you monitor again, you keep on seeing it. One thing you can do again is readjust this little trade right here, and you see, okay, now we have a new trending area. You keep on moving your trading, you take profit. Take a look at how much we're making right now. All right, it retested the trend line. It kept on jumping. It's testing again the trend line. It kind of broke it. It's consolidating the price right there. Your trailing stop should have been like around this area. Once it breaks like a certain level, you always should move your trailing stop. Okay, for instance, right there, I can say, hey, the trailing stop could be here, because if it gets broken anyways, there's going to be a change in trending. But if not, it can continue with the trend. Right now, it's consolidating, so it could either break and start a downtrend like it literally did right now. And like I said, the stop loss should have been, the trailing stop should have been like around this area right here, somewhere there. You can use this indicator as a reference, and that's a 17.01 risk reward ratio. Yes, we lost a couple, but this one, 17.01. Now, how long this trade actually took? Friday, October 22nd. No, October 21st. It closed. No, it didn't close. It closed right here, January 23rd. So this is a positional trade. Okay. Now, obviously, again, like I said, this is like a past example, so we can actually take a look at what else can we do. Now we're looking at an actual downtrend right here. So we're looking at a downtrend. So we take a look at, all right, so it broke and it's touching 2 points right there. So I could say, hey, my next entry point should have been around this area, but I could actually move it. Sometimes you don't need to actually have a pending trade, but you can keep on moving your entry if you actually can see a market order. Oh, shoot. I reduced it. Hold on. All right. I guess it was somewhere here. I'm not sure. All right. So that was a misclick. All right. So you see that there is an actual continuation of the downtrend. So you can get 1 point and 2 touching points right there. So there you can actually say, hey, it could be a good entry. And again, you don't need to have a pending order. You can actually place a market order if that's good enough. For instance, here, I would have entered somewhere there because it's not necessarily that it's actually going to reach the level one more time. And I could be missing a good entry point, right? So there you go. You see that is actually retesting the line, and you can move the touch of it. Second touch is now right here. You see? Now we can continue watching. What is the trade going to do? It's breaking right now the trend line, but it continued to go down slightly. Now the price is consolidating, so probably your trailing stop should have hit around that area with a 3-point-something%. If you're a little bit more aggressive, then you would have continued the trade active like that. It keeps on dropping. It really does depend on how aggressive you can be, Now the price is consolidating, so most likely you would have closed the trade somewhere before, somewhere there with that 6 or something. Now the price actually became an uptrend, right? So if it became an uptrend, we're gonna look for a new trend line. So for instance, and you gotta look for a trend line. You cannot invent the trend line, but this is one point and this is another. We don't enter here because we didn't know that was gonna be like the touch point. You see, now he moved. So he moved. So we continue and we have support and resistance level in here. Indicator, we can actually edit it. This is for 1 hour support and resistance. It can help as a reference, but honestly, you cannot trust it, right? So you keep on looking, and up until this point is tested more times, that's when you're gonna enter. Now you got tested twice, and this could be a good entry point. I'm not sure because this isn't real time, right? But it could be a good entry point. Now I would have set the stop loss somewhere below this support level just in case institutions are gonna be placing hard positions on it. You see now, probably your trailing stop would have taken you out somewhere there because I moved my stop loss to like this area, to break even at the most. And you see it happened, it break it. But again, we have a brand new trend line. So you select the highest and the repeated point, which actually happened already twice, but you can let it go, you can let it continue. And once it tested it again, then we can go ahead and enter certain positions. So this is what you continue to do. Again, choosing the entry points is not going to be guaranteed that they're going to be respected. However, there's a huge chance that institutions are placing positions at the exact same moment. One thing that you need to understand is that institutions are the ones that actually manage trading accounts. Okay? So if you actually are able to enter with institutions, that's where you're going to be able to make money. All right? This is an example that I had with Euro USD. As a matter of fact, this trade right here was actually way more profitable because I was actually, I don't even remember where I entered, where I exited, but it was a profitable trade on, what's it called? IC markets, but go ahead and test it. Okay, go ahead and test it. Try to use the least volatile markets all over the place. Take a look at this pending order that I had. Almost got activated. It didn't get activated for a very little. This one right here, take a look at how long I actually continued with this trade right here. You got all the way to this area. Could have been better. I kind of entered too late and so on. This is exactly what I've been doing. Take a look at this trend. So I recommend you to actually test this specific strategy, like the entries, and do it with a replay of Trading View so that, you have a lot more experience when you actually, test it on real life. Now, how long should you hold the trades? Holding the trades, it doesn't have like an exact expiration time, but I'd say just keep it as long as it doesn't change on trending. Okay. I've seen a lot of people trading with stocks, which are way easier to actually predict and way more constant, if that's a word. Cryptocurrencies, honestly, I wouldn't go with them. Let me just go ahead and see stocks. There you go. So let's say Tesla, for instance. Tesla, Apple Computer, Microsoft. These are pairs that I usually trade when I'm trading stocks. And so these are way more consistent. Okay. So if you have one trading point and you enter, let's say that you enter at the bottom of it, like it broke, like this area, the trend. And usually when this happens, they continue to go for a long time. These are position trades. So you can actually see, all right, this is the highest point. It got respected once here. It moved to this area. All right, fine. We take a look at the second point, or this is the second point. And then you continue with the trade. Okay. Same thing happened with Apple Computer. So you can actually enter at the breakout of the 50 moving average, right? And then you're like, hey, let's take a look at the trend. This is the lowest point. This is a retesting area somewhere there. And if you notice, once it actually breaks this level right here, that's when you close it. All right, so it broke this area, the what's it called? The trending, then you can close it here and enter a sell position. Okay, it works way easier with stocks. I gotta say that up front. Forex pairs are a lot more volatile, so go ahead and test it, but keep it open as long as you continue with the trend. All right, before I finish with this video, I just wanted to give you a warm invitation to my BLW Copy Trader. If by any chance you don't feel like with the right experience, with the right knowledge in order to start trading on your own, go to blwforexcopytrader.com. I'm having the link in the description of this video. It's a brand new service that we have available where we as experts place positions and then you get to actually copy them. As simple as that. So more information is actually going to be found at blwforexcopytrader.com. Go ahead and take a look at it right now. Hey, so hopefully you enjoyed the content of this video. If you did, go ahead and smash the like button to support this YouTube channel. But more importantly, if you have any questions or comments to share, you can always use the comment section below and my team will be happy to reply to you. Thank you for watching this video and I'll see you on the next one.